Top of the morning, everyone. Welcome to Joy News Desk. My name is Kenneth Jesse, and this morning, Asantehene Otumfuo Osei II to present Bawku Peace Mediation report to President John Mahama later today. Also coming up, Supreme Court to rule on an application challenging a High Court decision on the Pandai Parliamentary seat. We are in court for more. And the National Service Authority uncovers fresh case of payroll irregularities resulting in the flagging of more than 8,000 personnel. We've got the latest of these and many other stories coming up in the next 1 hour. Don't go anywhere. Hello again. The Asantehene Otumfuo Osei II will later today submit a detailed report on the Bawku Peace Mediation to President John Mahama as part of ongoing efforts to secure lasting stability in the area. Otumfuo was appointed earlier in 2025 to spearhead mediation aimed at resolving the long-running chieftaincy conflict that has plagued the Bawku municipality for decades. Let's recap the final day of the mediation in Menchia, where my colleague Emmanuel Bright-Kweku reports.
Of the Kusasi and Mampusi communities arrived at the Menchia Palace with a common aim, finding a lasting and peaceful resolution to a protracted chieftaincy dispute. The feud has claimed several lives and brought destruction to properties as the Bawku community witnessed a series of violent attacks and sporadic shooting. The conflict has caused the displacement of people as some residents flee the area to seek shelter in other communities. President John Mahama early this year tasked the Asantehene to lead mediation talks between the feuding factions. After months of peaceful dialogue, the Asantehene today concluded deliberations with the opposing factions. Scores of people from the two ethnic groups pitched camp at the frontage of the Menchia Palace, awaiting a peaceful resolution. The Asantehene's ruling is expected to bring finality to the decades-old conflict. After several hours of closed-door meetings, there was wild jubilation at the palace as members of both sides expressed relief and optimism after the latest round of talks ended on a positive note.
All right, so it appears conclusions with the mediation talks with Asantehene has finally come to an end. We do not really know what happened in the closed-door meeting, but this is the jubilation that we are having here at the Menchia Palace, and as you can see, that is the dignity or some local authorities here. We understand this is the group for the Kusasis. They had waited all day long for the Asantehene to conclude the mediation talks between the Mampusis and Kusasis, and we know that this conflict has been a long-standing chieftaincy feud between the two factions that have resulted in the loss of lives and destruction to property. It's a large fleet of vehicles moving out of the Menchia Palace after mediation talks with the Asantehene. And in fact, for many of them, they are hoping that the outcome of today's talks or dialogue or the conclusion by the Asantehene will be one that would ensure that peace prevails in Bawku and its environs. And so we still have heavy military presence here. We already saw the police lead the Kusasis out of the Menchia Palace, and as you can see also in your shot, we are having the military also join the large fleet of vehicles. They are right behind the vehicle that conveyed dignitaries from the various places to the Menchia, and now they are going back to wherever they came from. And we understand that the Asantehene will forward all the outcomes to the presidency, and once that is done, we'll know, the public will know the outcome of the mediation talks led by the Asantehene.
For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bright-Kweku.
Let's get onto the telephone lines right now and speak to the Northeast Regional Minister, Ibrahim Tia. Minister, grateful for your time this morning. Ahead of this presentation of the report to the President by Otumfuo, what are your expectations?
Good morning. Thank you to your cherished listeners. I think we are all expecting a lasting solution to the chieftaincy crisis in Bawku. And so I believe with the mediation process led by Otunfuo, it should be accepted by both parties. The main aim is how can we stop losing lives in the name of this chieftaincy issue. Once the mediation has taken place, it is our belief that it should be accepted to all parties, and peace will reign in both Upper East and North East region. That is our greatest expectation.
Of course, we all recall the meeting that happened at the Menchia Palace about 2 weeks ago, where all the factions, the two factions, the Kusasi and the other faction were also there. I don't know if you've been interacting with them, but does it look like they are going to come to, a common ground as we speak right now?
Certainly, once there's mediation, it's a win-win situation. It is not, there's no winner and there's no loser. There is a common objective underlining why the mediation. Because we keep losing lives, we keep losing properties, and then we keep losing resources. And that is the main aim guiding this mediation. It is not about who wins. It is not about who loses. But once we all come to agree that, yes, these are the common objectives underlining this mediation, it is my firm belief that, yes, reasoning will come. Yes, there may be others who may be thinking otherwise. But you see, in society, when you are doing mediation processes, it's not everybody that tries to understand the realities on the ground. But leadership, when they understand, and we get our followers on board, explaining to them, I believe this is a decade issue. We inherited it. And His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Mahama, has assured that he wants them to mediate and he wants to bring lasting peace to Bawku. And that is our hope. And that is what all of us want. And I think, like I mentioned, it's a win-win situation. There's nowhere in mediation that winner takes all. We need to have the understanding. We need to also agree that, look, it's because of loss of lives. That is why these mediation processes have taken place. And it is my firm belief that when it comes out, certainly it will be accepted by all.
Minister, there's been suggestions, particularly from Samson Awingobet, who is the chairman of the People's National Convention, that this mediation effort should involve political parties because they are all actors in this. Is this something you subscribe to?
With this mediation process, that has to do with about chieftains. Whether political party A, political party B, political party C, provided you are a citizen of the region or you come from the north, you don't wait until they involve you. We are all hearing what is going on. We are on board. But I also agree that there should be broader stakeholder consultation so that, and that is what the O24 has done. And I think that whatever outcome that we are going to receive today, we need to engage other stakeholders, speak to them to understand the need why there should be peace and the need why the mediation process has gone on. And that is my belief.
Are you going to be here yourself today, later at the Jubilee House?
Most likely. Most likely, I will.
And as the head of security in the Northeast region, what role really are you playing in this mediation effort?
That is why I mentioned earlier, we need broader consultations. There are other stakeholders who are not part of the mediation processes. We need to bring them together. No, look, this is it. What is your stake? What can we do to bring lasting peace to the area? Because lives matter, property matter, and for that matter, that is the underlying principle that should guide whatever the processes are, so that we all move together in peace.
Minister, thank you very much for your time. That's Ibrahim Tia. He's the Northeast Regional Minister there, giving us an update on what he is going to expect ahead of the mediation report presentation that is going to be delivered to President John Mahama by Otumfuo Osei II. You do recall about a fortnight ago, there was a peace talk that was held at the Menchia Palace, hosted by Otumfuo Osei II, who has been appointed as the chief mediator to try and bring a lasting solution to the decades-old conflict in Bawku. And today he's expected to present his report to the President of the Republic, John Mahama, at the Jubilee House there. And of course, we spoke to the Upper East Regional Minister, Ibrahim Tia, who just shared with us, Northeast Regional Minister, rather, Ibrahim Tia, who shared his thoughts with us. Let's still stay in the Northeast region and speak to our resident correspondent, Ilyasu Tanko. Ilyasu, ahead of this landmark meeting between Otumfuo Osei II and President John Dramani Mahama at the Jubilee House concerning mediation efforts in Bawku, really, how are people in the region responding to this?
Well, largely it's been calm. People are very, they have high expectations. They are hoping that for once, this mediation talks will bring finality to the long-standing disputes that have shattered life and destroyed hundreds of properties. As we speak, there have been active security patrols all the way from the road from Tamale to Bolga. There have also been deployment of security forces in some areas, especially in the Wale and the Nalirgo area that have been part of the hotspot in this particular troubling disturbances. We continue to see combat vehicles belonging to security forces patrolling these two main towns. And residents, especially the Mamprugo Youth Association, continue to hold engagement with youth groups and to set their minds ahead of this particular engagement with the Asantehene and their president.
Ilyasu Tanko, thank you very much. Let's still stay in Bawku and speak to Halidu Desmani, who is the correspondent for our sister station, Adom TV. Halidu, tell us about really how the people of Bawku are going about their daily business. We know that usually there is almost always curfew in the area. Do we still have curfew there ahead of this mediation report that is going to be submitted to the president by Otumfuo?
There are still curfew in Bawku area, Bawku and Binduri, respectively. There are curfews, but people are going to their normal duties as they've been doing daily. And currently, as we speak, people are very optimistic that the report that the Otumfuo will be presenting to the president today will be a successful and will be a peaceful lasting report that they are expecting. And so I must say that they are willing to get or hear possible results from the mediation report. And when I speak to some of the residents, what they tell me is that for them, what they are looking for is lasting peace and nothing more. And so they expect that after the president receives the report, the president shouldn't delay in maybe coming out with what is contained in the report, so that the people in Bawku and its environment will also know the true picture of the issue, and so that they will continue to enjoy the peace, and we will not hear gunshot here and there moving forward.
Halidu Desmani, thank you very much. That's Adom News' correspondent in the Upper East region. Let's head to the Supreme Court now, because the Apex Court is expected to rule on an application challenging a High Court decision on the Pandai parliamentary seat. The opposition New Patriotic Party's candidate in the 2024 parliamentary elections, Matthew Nyindam, is contesting the High Court's ruling that annulled the results, arguing that the court wrongly assumed jurisdiction in that particular case.
Here and do propaganda and let people know that they are pursuing legal, but nothing. They are doing campaign. They are vigorously in the constituency all over the place. And then we are crisscrossing with them. Yesterday, our team national officers were in the constituency to have meeting with all our branch executives and all that. And we met them. We met the MPP group also doing their own thing over there. So just ignore them. For them, they know they are propaganda.
All right, and we'll definitely bring you more from the Supreme Court in our later bulletins. But in the meantime, the District Chief Executive of Etiwa East, Ernestine Tim, has moved to challenge a contempt ruling against him, announcing that he has instructed his lawyers to appeal the decision, which he describes as unjust and damaging to his reputation. The Koforidua High Court too fined Mr. Ntim 12,000 cedis for contempt of court in an ongoing illegal mining case after an applicant alleged that he defied an injunction by entering a disputed piece of land. The injunction has restrained the DC and other persons from accessing the land or engaging in any mining or land altering activities pending the determination of a substantive court case. And of course, the DC himself gladly is joining us on the telephone lines for more. Ernest in Team, glad for your time this morning. Tell us, really, you have said that you're going to appeal this case and that the judge's ruling was unjust. Why do you say that?
Thank you. And thank you to the listener. I said that based on what transpired at the court yesterday, because when you're accused of something that you have done, and then there's no evidence showing to you, whilst in the, my lawyer was even insisting that the so-called tip that has been given should be played at the court to identify the claim. And if a judge claims that he has watched it in the house, and he's okay with what he has seen, that is what made me feel that. And that's why yesterday we appealed it instantly, in order to prove the case.
Ernest, are you engaged in illegal mining in Etiwa?
First of all, I want to put it on record that the case at hand is not about illegal mining or mining. If it's about illegal mining, then it could have been state versus, Ernest, Etiwa DC. It wouldn't have been Abeku or Daneansa versus Asamanta, but all the issue and the land issue have to do with a land litigation which started 2 years ago before I even came to office as a DCE. That I felt that the people were being maltreated by this gentleman called Daneansa. Because he claimed that the state have sold those parts of Asamanta and lands to him, and he could just go in there with excavator and just mine without even a compensation to the landowners and the farmers, which I thought that it was unjust to the people. So I started fighting him. There's even a video that I don't know whether you have to do when I went there and I was fighting him on a particular land. He was there. I was sitting in black. At that time, I've been gone for 1 week food, and then I was told that he is there engaging in activity on an innocent woman's land, and I went there. And even over there, he told me that so you could get to know that he planned in order to act that way, so that he could be seen back the face of public. Then something happened that he's no more. Then he crossed up for coming to power. I've succeeded in all his activities that he started, that people were not getting anyone to fight for them. I've been able to stop it. We even called him to die about 3 weeks. And it's all right. And everything reported. That he stated that he's on this, he will stop worrying. If I give him opportunity to work, people also. they were vowed in order to President Mahama sustainable money, in order to do good. So he thinks that they can go that way. But the experts are there. And I'm happy courts are working on this and my lawyers work on it. And I would say that as so-called thing should be put to that for us to testify.
But Ernest, the court found you to be contemptuous of the court ruling. The court said that you shouldn't enter that piece of land, and you defied the court orders per what that ruling was given. When you did defy those orders and enter the land, what did you go to do there?
And that's why I'm saying that there's nothing. I've never gone anywhere. And the issue about that is about land litigation between Asantehene and Kase, which is a known issue, even to the BNI officers around the national security and all those areas. It's a known issue. And that's why I'm saying that if we're a judge and you claim that somebody has just gone to a certain land, and his counsel, his legal lawyer, he said that play that video for us to see. He said, no, you have watched it in your room. And that is why we filed an appeal yesterday. Yesterday, we prepared an appeal. We are working on it. The lawyers are on it.
We spoke to some of the residents in your community yesterday. Most of them are divided, and some of them are of the conviction that it is indeed true that you, the DCE, are engaged in illegal mining in that area.
Are you sure you spoke to some of the residents in my area?
Yes, we did.
Look, boss, do you know something? I even have a video. I'm ready to even pay all the expenses, anything that will cost me. And I'm having a video. This gentleman brought some media men to the town, and then he went to some people. I think he paid them. Then they pretended that they are having land that I have destroyed, and all those people are there. We will go to them, and so that they will go and show me where I've destroyed a certain land. The point is, let us get it clear. The point is strict. Why would he decide to fight me and not any other person if I'm engaging in any illegal mining? And all these issues started at the time about 2 years ago. And why is it that the party in power and the government in power at that time allowed me, at that time I was the constituency chairman, allowed me, opposition member, to lead a galamsey or mine activities over there? It's never true. The issue at hand, if you go to Osaji for a motive for Independence Palace, the issue is there. It's about land litigation. It's there. And so the issue, I want us to just clear this notion that it's not about mining issue. It's about land litigation issue, which he was trying to use it for his mining activity. I have stopped him. And he thinks that I've taken his livelihood from him. And he has said it on record. People were there. Even at the dissect meeting, we called him. And he has given all those conditions. I'm not ready to compromise today. I'm not ready to compromise tomorrow. I will not going to allow him to work today. I'm not going to allow him to work tomorrow. Because once the thing come to the public domain, I can show you the truth will come out.
Ernest, team, thank you very much. That's the DC for Etiwa East. But let's now bring in Senyo Husi, who is a convener of the Media Coalition Against Galamsey. Senyo, you've been listening to the DC. Of course, he's vehemently denied of any involvement in Galamsey, but he's now a convict. He's been convicted by a court of competent jurisdiction. Do you think that he should excuse himself while investigation into these allegations are ongoing? Do we have Senyo Husi on the line? We will try to reconnect with Senyo Husi in a bit, but let's bring you other stories this morning. Right, let's try to reconnect with Senyo Husi again. Do I have Senyo on the line with me? Senyo, you have been listening to the DCE, I believe. When he was speaking a while ago, of course, he's vehemently denied his involvement in Galamsey. But as I mentioned earlier, the residents in the area were hugely divided when this ruling came out, that they suspect that he is involved in Galamsey. Do you think that he should recuse himself while investigation into this issue is ongoing?
I think this matter is a straightforward matter. I hear the DC. I don't think the conversation is about whether he has political enemies or not, and people who want to take him or not. It's okay. We're in a society. We won't all be loved by everyone. But once we take public office, we must be accountable to the people. And once we are citizens, we should be responsible to the state. For which reason, irrespective of hate or love, agenda, motive, or the other, wrong is wrong and right is right. So I do respect the fact that he may have videos here and there, but it's meaningless. The court has convicted you for contempt, and the cases and the complaints around that contempt has to do with the allegation of you participating in illegal mining. And definitely, it seems obvious that if the court will validate that, it means that people who are arrested have actually affirmed the fact that they were working for you when you were under clear instructions not to approach that land whatsoever. This is a disgrace for the government. I think His Excellency the President should take the right steps. And I do respect the rights of the DC as well. So let me be categorical, as we expect His Excellency the President to request this DC to step aside. He has to step aside for that should take us more than a week, to validate his culpability around some ethical issues relative to illegal mining. That should be something that national security, the NIB, the police should go to resolve, at least at the political level. Then the criminal issues can now take its course. If he also has some charges against the miner who filed the complaint, and we are very happy as a people to make sure we correct every space, he must submit it. It's part of his responsibility to submit and report crime, report ill actions by other people. So he must do that. So we also go after that illegal miner. All right, we just need to cure Galamsey. Yesterday we were on your show, we saw the cases of leukemia and other blood cancers rising. The truth is, Galamsey is part of the reason. If heavy metals are poisoning our food in these places, what will happen? We are giving birth to aliens. The president has been very categorical about Galamsey. He has said NIMOS. We are spending millions of cedis. Please, Your Excellency, we can't watch this pass by, because that would be you nurturing impunity, which is not what you are supposed to stand for. We called you in for things like oral because people were tired of corruption and impunity. This, if it's led to slide, will be impunity and also be political corruption. So we expect strong leadership from His Excellency the President in this particular matter. And I think that the DCE will do himself good. I think that with this, he should just recluse himself, purge himself, and come back. He's a politician. But do that, and people realize that you really mean good as far as governance is concerned. But trying to still fight on, whilst it's been also alleged that you've been threatening people by the fact that you are DCE, that is a problem. Another thing we may have missed is that there's a loss of sense of accountability to the people. We overrate political power. And this is unfortunate that we are not really resourcing the NCC to let the people know that power resides with the people. Article 1 of our Constitution is very categorical with that. Power resides, and the sovereignty of the states resides with the people.
Right.
You must be accountable to the people. You can't come and think that because you are DC, you can threaten anybody. Everybody must rather be on your case. You must realize that when you are in office, you are in to serve, not to be served. That is a problem. And that education must go down to the roots of our governance system. Our politicians and public officers will sit up and deliver the public good that is required to drive the governance of our country.
Right, Mr. Senyor Hosi, thank you very much. He's a convener of the Media Coalition Against Illegal Mining. Let's take you back to court in the Supreme Court right now, because as I told you earlier, we are expecting a ruling by the Apex Court to rule on whether or not the Tamale High Court had jurisdiction to pronounce the Pandai election results as null and void, which has resulted in the Electoral Commission calling for a rerun to be held on the 30th of December. And correspondent Fatal Bayaga is at the Apex Court for us. Fatal, what can you report to us? Has the ruling been made already?
Not yet, Ken. A number of individuals, including MPP, have arrived here at the court. I've seen members of parliament, including the member of parliament for Swami, member of parliament for Tafo, among others, are here at the moment. I've also seen lawyers from both sides also at the court at the moment. And any moment from now, the court or the case will be called for this very important decision to be taken this morning in relation to the Pandai election results. So that's the situation here at the moment. From the look of things, both parties, when they arrived, I mean, the dinner was that of the posted one, expected to hear from the judge later this morning about what it would happen in relation to the election.
Fatal, do you know when the ruling will be given?
So, Ken, it is not clear as the exact time, but any moment from now, the case would be called. And if that happens, maybe in the next 30 minutes or so, there should be a declaration on this particular matter. But speaking with some of the lawyers, they seem to say that the case might drag because both parties have come prepared and they may spend time arguing, their positions, and this may drag the case. So, in fact, even from time there about the case that should be determined for the Pandai, and from the impression that this case might take so much, so that's to get complete this case and then come back or commence the Pandai election issue. So it may drag this morning here, but we just don't get the solid time that we have.
Fatal Bayaga from the Supreme Court, thank you very much. Now, the National Service Authority says it has uncovered a fresh case of payroll irregularities, resulting in the flagging of more than 8,000 personnel. According to the authority, 1,840 of these individuals have been temporarily suspended, pending the outcome of investigations by relevant investigative bodies. Addressing the emerging issues at a news conference, the authority's head office here in Accra, the Director General of the authority, Ruth Sedo, explained that the irregularities were identified in 3 tertiary institutions. She's also been addressing other posting-related issues to the NSA.
It's a whole huge cartel. Due to the outcome of our very detailed, thorough, and comprehensive investigation, we made shocking discoveries that resulted in the flagging of 8,105 individuals in the system. Let me repeat. We made a shocking discovery that resulted in we flagging 8,105 individuals in the system and 1,840 individuals have been completely suspended, pending conclusion of further investigations by the security agencies. The investigations uncovered a number of serious irregularities being perpetuated in 3 tertiary institutions: University of Development Studies, UDS, Ghana Communications Technology University, Akenton Apia Minka University of Skills Training and Entrepreneurial Development. The outcome of the investigation: 10 members of staff from the various institutions have been arrested and are under investigations with the security agencies, as well as some staff of National Service have also been arrested and currently with the National Security and are under interrogation. Implications of these anomalies: had these irregularities gone undetected, non-qualified individuals would have been enrolled as National Service personnel, and the state would have incurred significant loss through payment of monthly allowances to these individuals. The credibility of the integrity of the national service would have also been severely compromised. To prevent reoccurrence, the NSA has strengthened verification protocols. We have implemented automated cross-checks between institutional databases and NSA records before final approval. We have audited institutional submissions, conduct periodic audits of data submitted by tertiary institutions, capacity building, train institutional staff on compliance and data integrity requirements.
Now, his late father, E.A. Mahama, a politician, once lived in political exile in Nigeria, and he was sent to stay with him to keep him company. He returned to the West African country on Monday, this time to receive a revered chieftaincy title. That is the story of President John Mahama. And speaking shortly after the traditional ruler of Ile-Ife, the Onu of Ife in Osun State, conferred the honor on him, President Mahama recalled with excitement his stay in Nigeria. He dedicated the title to his Nigerian stepmother and many others who played significant roles in his life. Presidential Affairs correspondent Maxwell Agbaba has more.
A resplendent display of culture, rich tradition, and brass band music sets the tone for the ceremony. The music, a Yoruba rendition of Ghana's hit song Asempapa.
We are currently here at Ile-Ife. It is located here in the Osun State in Nigeria. It is considered as the spiritual and ancestral home of the Yoruba people. President John Mahama is going to be bestowed upon a prestigious chieftaincy title, which loosely translates as the president who reorganizes the global space. And of course, we've known the huge contributions of President Mahama in terms of his advocacy for multilateralism, urging nations not to work in silos but work together to tackle global challenges like climate change and economic inequalities.
Welcome to Ile-Ife. Though it's a Monday, it hardly feels like one, as commercial activities have come to a complete standstill. Among the distinguished guests already present are the Emir of Kano, business magnate Aliko Dangote, and former Botswana President Masisi, plus several other prominent Nigerians. President John Mahama arrived in grand style, conveyed in a horse-drawn chariot. He was accompanied by aides of the traditional ruler of Ife, bare-chested, adorned with white clothes wrapped around their waist and carrying gifts fashioned in gold-like ornaments. In his address, the traditional ruler of Ile-Ife, His Imperial Majesty Oba Adeyeye Enitan Egunsi Ojaja II, spoke extensively about the deep ancestral ties between the Yoruba people and the Ga people of Ghana.
The Ga people, if you look to your left hand side where you are seated, all the way down here is the Agako compound. That's where they came from. The majority of the entire Ghana population. In Ghana, you will say Akwabo. Here we say Ekabo. Does it sound the same? We are all the same. We are one big family.
He described President Mahama as a reformer.
To the glory of God, today you are a reformer. You did magic that has never been done before. Immediately you ascended the throne second time, the entire Ghanaian economy turned around completely. Your ingenuity ways, we're very proud of you. You have a Midas touch and a golden touch. And that is why you are Are Atayeto. You have rearranged Ghana, you have reformed Ghana, and by extension, it has started spreading across the entire black race.
President Mahama, in his response, recalled with excitement his stay in Nigeria during his childhood when his father was in exile in the country.
When Nigeria prospers, Ghana prospers. When Ghana prospers, Nigeria prospers. God brought two of us together. We are like twins of the same mother, except when we are playing football and then when we are cooking jollof. But I want to say this chieftaincy title, I receive it on behalf of all the people of Ghana. It will further cement the relationship between us. And as Oni said, my stepmother of blessed memory, I received this chieftaincy title on her behalf. Hajia Nusrat Balogun. At a point in time when my father had to come into exile, I had just finished university, and it was decided that one of us should come and stay with him. And so I was dispatched to come and keep him company. And so for several years, I lived in Nigeria. I was in Lagos, I was in Offa, and I was even in Kano with our late brother Sharaf Balogun. May he rest in peace. And I was received very warmly, like family. You couldn't tell that I was not originally born here. Almost everybody in Offa knew me. I used to go to different relatives' houses, and wherever I go and food is ready, I'll sit and I'll eat amala or eba and egusi.
Return from the break with the latest in business.
Now let's get into our stories. The country director for Visa Ghana, Fabrice Conan, says Ghana must accelerate the adoption of contactless payment solutions to keep pace with global digital payment trends. Speaking to Joy Business at the Visa and Absa Bank Ghana launch of Absa Pay, Mr. Conan commended sector players, but noted that while contactless payment have become mainstream in many parts of the world, Ghana is yet to fully tap into their potential.
Held at a Good Park Accra Mall brought together key industry stakeholders, fintech players, and digital influencers to experience the future of seamless, contactless payment in Ghana. Speaking to Joy Business, Fabrice Conan, country director for Visa Ghana, highlighted a growing global shift toward contactless payment, noting that Ghana still has significant room to accelerate adoption.
So this partnership is simply an association between one of the largest banks in Ghana, Absa, known for really, step into innovation, and a global payment network like Visa. It's about how do we, work together to offer the best payment methods. I think it's a journey. I think there's a lot of efforts that we have to do, particularly from the seller standpoint. The merchant, they have to accept to have digital payment. They have to accept different method of payment, QR, POS machine, which have contactless capabilities. From a consumer standpoint, we have made a lot of progress. Obviously mobile money has, brought something.
On this spot, Retail Banking Director at Absa Bank Ghana, Charles Addo, emphasized the strategic importance of the partnership with Visa and the bank's focus on customer-centric innovation.
I think when you look at today's customer, today's clients, they have a particular persona. They are looking for convenience, they are looking for security, they are looking for speed. And if you look at Ghana's population, 60% of our population are youthful, and that is the exact persona. This is the reason why we are going in a collaboration with Visa to offer a product that satisfies this persona.
The launch of the Absa Pay is expected to reshape Ghana's digital payment narrative by increasing consumer awareness of contactless payment, driving adoption among merchants and customers, and strengthening the long-standing partnership between Visa and Absa Bank Ghana.
In other stories, in a bid to strengthen Ghana's credit ecosystem and reduce rising non-performing loans, the Chartered Institute of Credit Management Ghana, CICMG, led by President Evelyn Osei-Tutu, is combining professional recognition with capacity-building initiatives aimed at promoting responsible lending, effective recovery, and long-term business sustainability.
The president of the Chartered Institute of Credit Management Ghana says the institute's recognition of seasoned credit professionals is part of a broader strategy to promote discipline, accountability, and excellence across the financial sector. She explains that honoring industry veterans also create a platform for collaboration with financial institutions, SMEs, and the informal sector to ensure credit facilities are granted responsibly and recovered efficiently.
Of course, we are already in partnership because as we award them, we are getting them into the community, into the institute, right? And so we are trying to let them understand that it is that's very imperative for you to, give out the facility and then make sure you recover all. Because if you lend and you are not able to recover the money, then of course you'll be a bad lender. And so it's an area that we are looking at us in joining hands with the institutions and partnering with them. And with that, we'll be able to at least make some positive moves.
The registrar of CICMG says the Institute New Year Debt Recovery School is designed to equip businesses and financial institutions with practical skills to manage credit and recover outstanding debt.
Transfer of skills are going to be given to you or going to be transferred to you as to how you can manage the non-performing loan books that you are sitting on. Now, with the New Year Debt Recovery School, we're going to train you, we're going to give you the skills, we're going to give you the techniques. Like I mentioned, we have what we call Pareto analysis in relation to debt recovery. That is the 80-20 rule. We're going to show you as to how you can use this rule in your recovery skills, in your recovery administration, so that at the end of the day, recovery becomes a bit easier, not a difficult task or not a difficult process for the institution.
CICMG believes that through targeted training, industry collaboration, and professional recognition, Ghana's financial institutions and businesses will be better positioned to improve recovery rates, support sustainable lending, and drive economic growth.
All for business. I am Michelle Ejekum. For small business news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. Ken?
Thank you very much, Michelle. And in other stories this morning, Ghana is gearing up for one of its most vibrant Christmas seasons yet. A December sparkling with music, lights, theatre and colour. Through the December in GH 2025 program, the Ghana Tourism Authority is inviting everyone to experience the magic firsthand, from festive streets to concerts and cultural celebrations where tradition meets creativity. And the warmth of the Ghanaian holiday spirit fills every corner. Rodalyn Abensa has more in this feature.
Christmas in Ghana isn't complete without theatre. And this year, Ankle White's Festival of Plays returns with renewed force. In Takrady, the coast will beat to Mosque Fiesta December 19 and return on December 24 to 28. The Western region's masquerade culture remains one of Ghana's most colorful Christmas traditions, and this year's edition is expected to draw record numbers. On Boxing Day, December 26, the hills of Ibri will come alive as the Ibri Botanical Gardens host Joy FM's family party in the park. Music will float through the cool air as Kwabna Kwabna, Kwanpa, and Dope Nation take the stage, while cooking competitions and activities at Daddy's Corner keep families entertained. On December 24 and 25, Accra will light up with two of the season's biggest shows, Stoneboy's Beam Festival and Sarkodie's Rapaholic Concert. Then comes the heartbeat of the holidays, Dirty December. From blockbuster concert and beach raves at Labadi and Kokrobiti, the city will become a living stage. Christmas in Ghana is no longer just a holiday. It's a spectacle of lights, music, culture, and joy, With many events lined up for the season, enjoy responsibly. Rodalyn Abensa's feature on Christmas activities in Ghana read to you.
That's it for News Desk this morning. For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com. The news team returns at midday with news today. My name is Kenneth. Jesse, have a good morning.